Hello there, welcome to Name Tech channel. My name is Nehemiah and this is Adobe Photoshop tutorials part 2. Remember we have part 1 where we talked about the basics of Adobe Photoshop, but in this tutorial we are going to create what? We are going to create a banner. We are going to learn how to create a banner. And guys, before we get started, if it's your first time to get into this channel, please support me by subscribing. I'll appreciate very much, and to the subscribers, you can like the video if it's helpful. Now the first thing that you want to do when you open your Adobe Photoshop, remember I'm going to provide this software in our Telegram channel. You can join my Telegram channel and access this Photoshop in the latest post there. You're going to find what you're going to find that these are Photoshop software, but I'm going to provide the link there in the description for my Telegram. Now before you do anything in Adobe Photoshop, especially if you have ever opened this Photoshop software and designed something, is to reset essentials. How do you reset essentials? You go to this window here, you go to this tab here for window, then you click on it, then you go to workspace, then you go down here to reset essentials. Then I'm going to reset everything to default. Now let's go back to home and then I think of the design. I said that we are going to talk about what we are going to talk about creating a banner, and the size, the length and the width depends with your project, but for me, let me first of all give the name of this project, like let me say banner design or a banner what, let me just give it any name, banner design. And with the units, I always find it easy to use pixels, to use units in pixel, but you can use inches, centimeters, millimeter points, pickers, but for me I always like using pixels. And remember that the length and the width of your project depends with your project, but for the sake of tutorial I'm going to with this measurement. The width I'm going to give it 1920 to 1080, 1920 to 1080, and then now the resolution here I'm going to give it I'm going to give it 300. Let me give it 300, and let me try to talk about this what this resolution means. Basically, resolution refers to the details of your image, like the image with the low resolution have less details, and the resolution with actually the image with the higher resolution have more details. It is measured in pixel per inch or dots per inch, dpi or ppi. And guys, I'm pretty sure that you've ever come across a certain image that when you try to zoom in, then you're going to see some boxes, or the image becomes pixelated, so which means that image has lower resolution. But I know some images, like when you try to zoom in, it does not lose the quality of that image, so that image has resolution. And so when you're working with the print media, so ensure that you always give your project the higher resolution for quality output. And then everything here, now leave it by default, then click on create. And so guys, when it opens, then you're going to have this kind of workspace here. And then we talked about these tools in the previous tutorial. We talked about all of these tools, and also these tabs here on your right. But then I talked about some shortcuts in in Photoshop. So like the shortcut to zoom in, I want to reduce the workspace here so that I may work on it very well. So the shortcut to zoom out is what? Is a control plus the negative symbol here on your keyboard. Control then minus, and so guys, I want us to begin right away. And for me, I always begin the project by adding a background on my project. And in this case, I'm going to use what? I'm going to use a background banner, background image here on this on this workspace here on this project. Then I reduce the opacity. So let me go to the files, and then click on open. Let me click open. Then I'm going to where my stars are. Let me go to the downloads, and then this are the banner files. And by the way guys, before you design anything, ensure that you work on the wireframe so that you may know the stuff that you are going to use, like the icons, the logos and all that. So like for me, I'm going to use this image here as a background. And guys, once it's open, then you are going to click on this move tool here. We talked about these tools yesterday. And then you're going to click on this image, then left click, then drag. When you reach where your project is, then drag down, drag, then do at drop here. And then yesterday I talked about transform tools, and the shortcut is what? Ctrl+T to bring the transformation tools here. And then I'm going to resize this image. Then first of all, ensure that the width and the height, it is linked, so that when you resize, it does not the image does not become distorted. And so you're going to resize it until it fits the project. So once you feel that it is perfect, then you click on this tick, or you click enter on Windows, or return on Mac. So let me click enter, and then let me now increase zoom in, that is control, and then plus the positive symbol on your keyboard. So let me zoom in. So I think this is perfect for me. And then now guys, I want us to add the background gradient here on this image, so that we may lower the opacity, of this image. Now you can access the gradient tools when you click on this stuff here, the gradient tool, or you can as well go here to the FX. Then you're going to do what? You're going to find the gradient overlay here, the gradient overlay. And then we have the presets here. You can select the preset that you want. Like if you want blues, then it's going to give you the blue presets. But let's use this tool here on your left, here. So click on this tool, then click here at the top, double click, and then do what? Here select the colors that you want. Like let me use blue and red. So like the first one, I'm going to use what? I'm going to use blue. Let me use a dark blue, and then on my right, let me use what? Let me use red. This kind of red, I don't know the color. So just click, or you can as well use what? Hexadecimal value if you are good with the CSS, but you can as well use the color picker if you are not good in it. And then now the other thing that you do, just click OK. Ensure that you leave everything by default. Then do at click OK. Click OK. And then now I want us to lower the opacity. So like if I try to create that gradient like this, you can see that our background image is not visible. So we need to lower the opacity. Like let me give it something like 70%. Opacity, actually 70 should be 70%. That is opacity. And then I do what? Draw your gradient here. So draw your gradient, and then you're going to have this kind of gradient. But now let me try to make it something like even 80 or 90. Let me try 80 and see. Let me give it 80. And then I'll try to create the gradient here. And let me try again 90. This is not perfect for me. Let me give it 90% of opacity. Then I click what? Draw your gradient here. Now the direction of the gradient depends with how you draw this line. Like if I want the gradient to go from left to right, then I'm going to drag it to the left like this. Then it's going to do it to take that gradient overlay in that order. But in this tutorial, I'm going to use what? I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use from top to bottom. And so guys, I feel that this one is perfect for me. And so guys, the other thing that I want us to design here, I want us to create something like a curve like this, and then change the display here at the bottom, so that we may have a background, what a white background, so that we may add our text very well. So to do that, we are going to use the pen tool. So the pen tool is found here. When you have on it, it's going to show you what the type of the tool. This is pen tool. And so now to the pen tool, I want you to click on what? I want you to right click and then select curvature pen tool, and then ensure here you are at the shape. So on your case it might be at the path, but always ensure that it is at the shape if you want to create a shape. Now then when you have selected the shape, the fill color, I'm going to give it what? I'm going to give it white, and then the outline, the stroke I'm going to give it what? Let me give it which color? Let me give it blue. Let me give it blue. Or let me just use the color picker here, and then I choose what? A darker blue color here, and then I click OK. And then the next thing, now let's increase the size of the stroke. Like let me make it even something like a 4 pixel. Let me give it 4 pixel. And so guys, if you feel that every thing is okay, like the settings, now outside your project, just click here once, and then at the midst of your project here, click again once, and then outside here, click once, and then it's going to give you what? This kind of a curve. And then to your pen tool, just right click again, then select pen tool here, pen tool, and then click here, and then click outside it, click again, and then here click once. And so guys, if you feel that the curve is not yet perfect, you can click where you want to adjust it, and then you can try to zoom down, actually to make the curve go down here like this, or go up. But if you feel that it's okay, then you do what? You click enter, or return on mark. But there's something that's not perfect with me here, like this outline. I want to increase the size, like let me make it what? Let me make it something like 10 pixel. I think this one is perfect. And then perhaps let me try to adjust, or make this shape go downwards. So I'm going to click on the move tool here. Then I click, ensure that this shape is selected, and then I drag down until it fits where you want it to be. So I feel that position is now good, is now okay with me. And so now I want us to create also another curve, but now we are going to change what? We are going to change the color and everything. So I'll go to the the pen tool here, right click, click on the curvature pen tool, then again click, then again click, then click again here, actually click at the center here, and then I click outside here, and then I return to your pen tool, then right click, then I click on the pen tool, and then click here where it ends, and then I do what? I click again here outside, click again outside, click again outside, click again, and then I do what? Finish with this position here. And then the first thing that you want to do now is to change the color. Like this one, I'm going to give it what? I'm going to give it something like a red color. Let me choose red color, then do what? Click OK, and then the outline, let me give it I think blue is still okay. And then now here I'm going to drag it down. I'm going to drag this second design to the bottom here. So let me drag it down. Yeah, and I think this one is perfect. So if you feel that it's okay, then you do what? You click on enter, click enter, or return on mark. And then the first thing that you want to do, go to the move tool, here, and then adjust to the position where you want it to be, so that you may make a very perfect lines here. But guys, this color is not perfect with me. This color here, this kind of red is not good for me. So I'm going to change the color and at least give it a light color for red. So let me go to the pen tool again, and then I do select this one. Actually, first of all, to the move tool, and then select this one, and then to the pen tool, just click on it, then I click on the fill color here, then click on this color picker, and then I select the color that you want. Like let me choose this kind of red, light red, or I don't know if there's a color called light red, but I click on it, then I click OK, and I think this color is somehow good with me. But this outline here, let me change and give it something, a different color, like something like yellow or something like that. Let me give it yellow, and then I click OK, and then I think this color is now good. And now let me play around with what? Let me play around with the positioning of this stuff. So let me click on the move tool here, and then I do what? Drag to the position where I want it to be, like let it be here, let it be there. And so guys, I feel this one is perfect. This background is now good with me. Now the next thing, now I want us to add what? I want us to add here an image of a person. So to find the image, I'm going to the file here, and then open, and then select the person, select the guy that you want to use on your project. So select this person. Once the image is open, then ensure that you are in the move tool. And by the way, this background is what is transparent, and I showed you how to do that, how to make a transparent background in the previous video. And so now to your move tool selected, then I click on this person, then I drag to your project, and then I drag down, and then I do what? You can click on Ctrl+T to bring the transform tool, and then adjust to ensure that it's linked, the width and the height is linked. Like for example, let me try to unlink it so that you may see the effect. This image is going to be distorted when I try to adjust. You can see the image becomes distorted when you try to adjust. So always ensure that the height and the width is linked here, and then you do what? Just adjust to the position where I want it to be, and I think this position is perfect with me. And then now I want us to make it to be between this foreground and then this second background here. So to do that, I'm going to drag it down. Let me drag it to here, so that it may be in this position, at this position. And then let me do what? Let me make this person be at the center here. Let me make him at the center. Now click on your type tool, and then ensure that you are in the horizontal type tool, and then select the color that you want to use on your type tool. So for me, I'm going to use here what? I'm going to use let me use the eyedropper here. So just click on Alt or Option on your Mac, and then do what? Click on the color that you want to use here, and then I click OK. But you can as well do what? You can as well write what the color here, like for if you want a white color, you use what? You can use the hexadecimal value, or you can use the color picker here at the top on your top left here. Then you do what? You click on OK. And then now to type your text, like here in the text, let me begin by click once first of all. Then perhaps you can do what? You can adjust the size of the font size. And then here, let me say what? Let me say learn. Let me make it caps. Let me say learn from certified tutors. Learn from certified tutors. And then what I do, let me try to reduce the size, and then I do what? Click on this tab here. Click on this this icon here, and then I do what? I want us to adjust this length, or to increase the length of this title here. So let me increase the length. You can increase by clicking on this tab, then drag into the left, or you can just type it manually, but I always like using what? Dragging. So drag it to the position where you want it to be, and I think this one is perfect for me. Let me try to reduce the try to reduce the font the font size, and then let me increase the height of the height of the text. You can see it becomes distorted. Let me increase the height. Let me increase the height, and then I think this one is perfect. Let me increase the length first of all. Yeah, this length is good for me. And then once you feel it's perfect, then click OK. And then when you click OK, then drag it to the position where you want it to be. By there you can as well change the font if it is not pleasing with you, it's not perfect with you. To change the font family or the font type, go to the to this section, then I click on this drop down, and then I select the font that you want to use. Like let me select this one. You can select any. For me, I just choose any. I just pick any, and then do what? The size is big. Let me try to reduce the length of this text. Let me reduce to this position. Then do what? Click OK. And then I want us to add here my logo. Let me add my logo. So go to the files, and guys, I told you that when you begin a project, ensure that you work on the wireframe so that you may know the kind of icons or logos that you are going to use. Like for me, I knew what I'm going to design, that's why I had this logo here of mine here. Then I click OK, and then to move to select it, click on it, then I drag to where your project is, then drag down, and then I click on the transform to Ctrl+T to bring the transform tool, and then I ensure that the height and the width is linked here. Then I drag down, and then I do at position to the place where I want it to be. Like let me position it here. Let me position it here, and then perhaps click first of all enter or return on your Mac, or you can click on that tick, and then let me try to resize the text here. Let me reduce the size, the size, and then I do what? Let me increase the length, and though the image becomes distorted, let me increase the height also. Let me increase the height, and then do what? Position it where you want it to be. And I think the position here is now perfect. The position here there is perfect. And then the next thing now, let me try to increase this logo here. So to increase it, click on the move tool, and then ensure that the layer for this the layer for the shape is selected. Click on it, and then do what? Click on Ctrl+T to bring the transform tool, and then drag it, adjust the height, and then I think the add final details later, but for now let me click on the type tool again, and then let me say what? Let me say here certified. Actually let me say something like let me say what? First of all, let me reduce this what? Let me make it at the 100, this length. Let me make it 100, or you can just reset. Let me make something like 100. Then the height, let me make it also 100. And then here, let me do it. First of all, let me make this window. Let me add this window to be here. Let me make it there. And then now, the first thing that I want us to do, let me select the font here that I'm going to use. Select the font, like you can choose any font. Like let me choose what? Let me choose this one. Let me choose this one, Arial. And then let me say full stack. Let me say full stack. Let me say full stack, and then click enter. Actually click on that tick. Then also again here, let me say web. Click web, and then I do what? Let me say web developer. Now full stack web developer. And then now I want us to play around with this text. So like for this first one, ensure that first of all click OK. Then I click on this first one. Then let's increase the size. Full stack. Let me say full stack, and I actually increase the size. And then I do what? Let me choose which kind of color here. Let me choose which color. Let me go to this tab here, and I select another color that might be pleasing with me. So like let me choose any color. I don't know how to match colors well, but let me just choose yellow. Let me choose yellow, and then here let me say full stack full stack. And then the second one for web, let me click and perhaps change the font to impact. Let me choose impact here, and then I do what, increase the font size so that it may be big, very big. Let's make it bigger, and then first of all, let me, this web developer, let me make it at the bottom here, at the bottom, and then click on the web, web, and then let me do what, let me select all, then I do what, increase the length, web, so let me say web, then I do what, click OK, and then the next thing now, let me resize this text here at the top, and then select, then I reduce the size, and then I make it somewhere the center here, and then here this web developer, let me say what, I don't know use which color, like let me try to use a blue color. Let me use a blue color. Actually blue, will it match? I don't know. Let me just select light blue or light blue, this kind of color here, and let me select it, then I do what, click OK, click OK. Then in this text I want us to do what, I want us to use the color overlay, here. Actually the gradient overlay, not color overlay. So I ensure that the layer is selected here, ensure the layer is selected, then I click on the FX, then I go to the gradient overlay, click on the gradient overlay, and then I want us to use the presets, here, click on the gradient here, and then I'm going to use which kind of color, let me go for pinks, and then let me let me go to oranges, yeah, and then I choose this kind of color, and then I do what, by the way, you can select, you can play around with the opacity, and then you can play around with the actually the style, like if you want to make it radio, you can see how the display change. If you want to make it angle, you can see the display there. If you want to make it what, if you want to make it reflected, you can see the display. So I think the reflected is perfect for me. And then once you feel that it's okay, then do what, click OK. And by the way guys, in this text here at the top, I want us to make it, I want us to make it have the bevel and the emboss. So let me click on tick first of all, and then to this layer selected here, learn from certified tutors, then I click on the FX, then I go to the bevel and emboss, and then do what, let me make it this position, and then the technique here, I'm going to choose what, I'm going to choose chisel hard, and then I'm going to do what, I'm going to increase what, the depth, let me increase the size, and then do what, and then feel that it's perfect, then you're going to do what, you're going to click OK. But I forgot, I want us to add also what, a color overlay, a drop shadow here. So to add a drop shadow, you're going to click on the FX, then you do what, you click on the drop shadow, and then you select the blend mode. I'm going to choose normal. Let me choose normal, and then I'm going to select the color, like let me use light blue. Let me use this kind of color here, light blue, or you can use the color picker. Let me use color pick, or let me just select the color. Let me just use this kind of light blue color, then I do what, click OK. And then you can play around with what, you can play around with the the opacity. Let me make it 100, and then the spread, you can see when you increase the spread, how it becomes displayed. And then the size, you can see when you increase the size, it becomes very big. When you reduce, it becomes reduced. But for me, let me go with this one, and then the distance now is like at the angle or at the position where it should be. Like you can see when I adjust the position, it goes very far away from the text. So let me just make it there. Let me make it there, and then you can do it. You can play around with the angle and all that. So once you feel that it's okay, then do it. Click OK. Click OK. The next thing now, I want us to add the languages that this person is good with, and I'm going to use what? I'm going to use the logos. So let me go to the files. First of all, let me try to reduce these these tabs here. Let me clear everything here so that I may have only this project. Then I go to the files, and then I do it. Click open, and then I want us to select the the colors that this person is good. Actually, the languages. Sorry, guys, the languages that this person is good with. So click shift. Then I select CSS, select HTML, select JavaScript, select PHP, select React. Okay, so once you select all of them, then I do what? Click OK, click open actually, and then I do what? Let me begin with the HTML here. So ensure that you are the move tool here. Then I click on HTML. Then I drag to where your project is, and then let me position it there. And then by the way, let me just add all of them. Then let me go to the CSS, click on it, drag, and then to the position where you want it to be. We shall design it later, customize it later. Let me click on the JavaScript, then let me click on it, drag, and then position where you want it to be. And then I go to the PHP for backend, or let me select first of all React framework. Then I click on it, drag, and then to the position where it is. Then I drag down, and then the last one is what? PHP. I always like using PHP for backend. Then I click on it, then I drag it to the position where you want it to be. Then do what? Let me clear first of all this stuff. Okay, so once you have your projects like that, then do what? Select. Let me begin with the HTML, and then I begin to customize. Like this length or this length, the size is perfect with me, but I want us to add the outline, and the outline I'm going to use what? I'm going to use yellow. So ensure that the layer is selected. Then I click on the FX, then I go to the outer glow. Click on the outer glow, and for outer glow I'm going to choose what? Let me use yellow. Click on this one, then I'm going to use yellow, because our project is has yellow. Let me click on yellow, and then I click OK, and then the opacity, make it 100, and then do what? The range here, you're going to reduce it to 0. So ensure that the range is at the 0, and then do what? The spread is like something like the size. Actually, the size, let me increase this, reduce the size. Yeah, I think that size is perfect with me. So once you feel that it's okay, then I click OK, and let me resize it. Click Ctrl+T to bring the transform tool, then resize, and then make it here. And then the next language is what? The next language is CSS. Let me click on it, and then I do what? I go to the FX, and then I click on the outer glow, and then guys, it's going to remember what? It's going to remember what I used in the previous design. That's why I always tell you that before you begin any project, you ensure that you reset your Photoshop. So once you feel that it's perfect, then I click OK, and then I want us to click on the transform tool here, and then I resize it so that it may have a similar design. Then let me make it this way, overlap this one. Then let me go to the JavaScript. Let me go to the JavaScript here, click on it, click Ctrl+T to bring the transform tool. Then I resize it, and then I click tick or enter, click enter, or return on mark. Then I click FX, click outer glow, outer glow, and then for this one it's already yellow, but let me just click on it, and then do what? Drag it, and then let me place it there. And then what else? PHP. Now let me go to the React first of all. React, and then I click on FX, outer glow, then I click OK, then drag it. Actually, first of all, click on the transform tool, and then I resize it, and then I do what, place it where you want it to be. Let me place it there, and then the last one is PHP. Let me click on it, then I do what, click on the FX, then I click on the outer glow, then I do what, click OK, and then position it where you want it to be. But the arrangement, guys, is not perfect. Let me arrange it so that it may fit in this line here. Let me arrange in this order. Let me arrange it like this. And then guys, and so I think that this one is perfect for me, with me. This one is perfect with me. So the next thing that I want us to add here is now the date of the training. So the date of the training, let me first of all choose the icon. So the icon for date and time is here. Let me select it, then I click open, and so guys, once it's open, then I ensure that you are in the move tool. I just click on the move tool, then I click on it, then I drag to where your project is, then I drag to the bottom here, and then I guess you can see that it's not visible. So now we are going to play around with the layers. So this layer, let me make it at the top of everything. Let me place here at the top, and then I guess you're going to see what this kind of icon here. And then let me click on the Control+T to bring the transform tool, and then let me try to increase the size. Let me increase the size. Then once you feel it's okay, click enter or return on Mac. Then let me use the let me use the text tool here, the type tool, and then I click on the horizontal type tool. Then let me make let me say time. So time, I'm going to say what, let me say first of all, ensure that you change the color. Let me use red. Because our theme is red. The theme is red. This kind of red, let me use this red. Then let me say 9 p.m. 9. Then click enter to bring the line break. Click enter, then let me say p.m. and then guys, you can see the styling here is just awkward. So let's work on it. Like let me reduce what, let me reduce the the stretch or the length. Let me reduce to 100. Let me just make it 100. Default is 100. You can just type. By the way, to type is more easier to reduce than to drag. And then what is the height? I'm going to give it again 100. Let me give it to 100. And then now let me increase the font size. And then arrange this text to be at the center here. Let me click on the center, and then let me change the font size to impact, to the impact, and then ensure that you are there. And then let me say, now let me here down here, let me type what the date. Like let me say, when is today? I think today it is, let me see, today is something like April 2nd of April. Let me say second, sorry, 2nd of April, or let me say April 2nd ND, April 2nd. But now this second, I want to make it the superscript, or superscript. Let me click, select it, and then to your type tool, actually to this characters panel here, then click on the superscript here, and then it's going to do it. It's going to make the text to be superscript, and then let me make it here. But now first of all, let me click on the tick. Now I want us to reduce the size of this icon here. Like I click on it once, then I click on the transform tool. Actually click on Control plus T to bring the transform tool, then resize it further, and then click enter, and then to this text, this text, let me make it here, and then let me reduce the size. I click on T, and then I do at select all, and then I do at reduce the size, the font size. Also here at the bottom, you can do what, you can resize it, and I do what, change the color. The color, let me use black. The color is black. The hexadecimal value for black, remember I'm using the HSL. Actually it's a hexadecimal value with the 3 digits. For black is 00. Actually the for black is 0 0 0 0. But now the easiest way is to use the color picker here. Like I can see when it's here, it is white, but when you drag it, when you place your when you position here at the bottom left, then the color is going to be what, black color here. So I think this color is good for me. Remember, this is just my preference. It might be awkward with you, but these are just my preference. And so once you are done, then I click on this tick. Click on this tick to tell Adobe Photoshop that you are done with it. Once you feel that it's perfect, now I want us to make the name of this instructor here. So to your type tool selected, just click here once, and then let me say first of all, let me make it align the text from left, and then let me say instructor, let me say Nehemiah, or let me give it, let me not use Nehemiah, let me say Jeremiah. Let me say Jeremiah Kamau, or whichever name you feel is perfect. And then perhaps this first letter, let me make it red. This first one, let me make it red. Choose red. Or you can use the eyedropper tool here. Just click on Alt, and then select this color, and then click OK. Click OK, then it's going to select red. But let me try blue. Let me try to use blue. Let me use blue color here. I think let me use darker blue color. Yeah, I think this one is perfect. And then I do what and guys, the next thing now, I want us to increase the length of this text here. So let me click on it, and then I do what, increase the length. So ensure that this thing is selected here. Then I'll do what, increase the length here. Let me make it bigger, and then once you feel it's okay, now I want us to use what? I want us to use a rectangle tool here, so that we may add something like a button here, a button. So click on the rectangle, the shape tool here, and then you ensure that you select the rectangle tool, and then I do what, let me make the size to, actually I want to make it rounded corners, to add a border radius of what, 30 pixel, and then I do what, I want us to create what, that rectangle like this. Let me make this rectangle, and then do what, and then you can see, guys, it overlaps the text. So let me make it at the bottom here. Let me make here at the bottom, and then let me add let me add a stroke of increase the length of the stroke to something like 10 to something like 12 pixel. Yeah, it's perfect. And then do what, click enter once you feel that it is perfect. Once you feel that it's perfect, what is but perhaps let me try also to add the background for this these stars here. So let me do what, let me click ensure that the rectangle tool is selected, and then do what, let's make the rectangle here. Actually it's called a square or a rectangle, I don't know. And then do what, go to let me go here. Actually let me make sure that it is behind that icon. So, and then the color, let me use yellow this time. So let me select yellow. So let me select yellow color, actually this kind of yellow here. So let me select that yellow, then click enter. Click ensure that you click enter to tell Photoshop that you are done. And I think before anything, let me try to make it, to align it at the center, somewhere at the center here. And this one, let me make at the center. And so guys, I think this design is now good for me, but remember, you can make it, more beautiful, but for the sake of tutorial, let it be the way it is. And so now the next thing now is to export. You go to the files here, you go to the files, then you go to the export, then export as. And when you click on export as, then it's going to bring you this kind of window. So select the file type. By the way, if you're working with the print media, or if you want to print this stuff, ensure that you select PNG, and transparency, you remove it, and then you leave everything by default, and then click on export here. And then when you click on export, then it's going to ask you where you are going to place the project. Let me choose downloads. I'd like you placing it at the downloads. You can place it at the desktop or wherever you want it to be. And then let me click on click on save. And then and so guys, once you open your file explorer, and then you go to the downloads here, and then you're going to find this banner design here, this project. You can see that this is the the banner that we have designed. So and so guys, I think this is the end of the video. But if you find that the video has been of help to you, please consider subscribing, and also like the video. That will support this channel, that it may grow and reach more people. And so guys, until next time, I'll see you later.